Hello friends, you're with a Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm playing the Dungeons and Dragons adventure system board games, in particular Castle Ravenloft. And this adventure system consists of 3 different games. We got here Castle Ravenloft, we've got Wrath of Ashardalon, and The Legend of Drizzt. Each game comes with, I think, 13 scenarios, lots of monsters, treasures, characters, and the interesting part is now that you can combine these games. So you can shuffle all the monsters together, all the items, and you can play each scenario with the monsters and the items and the characters of the 2 other games. So that grants you a lot of variety. As you can see, the game is for 1 to 5 players. And, well, so it plays perfectly solo. There is 1 solitaire scenario that comes with each game, but you can also play most of the other scenarios because most of the scenarios are cooperative. So you can simply take a few heroes and play basically every of the 40 scenarios. Today I'm going to play a scenario of Castle Ravenloft. The background story is here that there is this Vampire Lord Count Strahd. This guy doesn't look very terrifying, but well. And well, he is in his castle, Ravenloft, and in the last scenario you challenge himself. Until then, in the scenarios before, you got to find your way through the castle, and the enemies become stronger, and it's getting harder and harder until you come to the last scenario. I'm going to use the tiles of the Castle Ravenloft game, but in addition to this, I'm going to use the cards, the monsters, the characters, everything else from every 3 games. So I hope there's going to be a lot of variety here. And sometimes it might be not thematically perfect. So normally in Castle Ravenloft you have undead monsters and ghosts and so on. But I see no reason why there shouldn't be other monsters too in this castle. The only restriction here is if there are event cards which are, for example, specifically talking about Ashardalon, that the dragon Ashardalon comes and attacks you, or things like that, then this event card is ignored. But basically, I'm playing with all 3 games on the tiles of the Castle Ravenloft game, and I'm gonna set up one of these Castle Ravenloft scenarios now. Okay, the game is set. I don't know, I think many of you might know this game, but still I'm gonna explain the rules while I'm playing. we have here monster cards, we have treasure cards, we have encounter cards. Over here are the dungeon tiles. This is the starting configuration of the dungeon. We have 3 heroes. The first one is Quinn, the human cleric. This is actually him. And let's see, we got here, born and raised in the village of Longbridge, you seek to stop the tide of evil that relentlessly attacks your home. Okay, I don't know. I'm not even sure if he's from this game, but whatever. So, he's got this saving grace. When you or any hero on your tile regains 1 hit point or more, that hero can also end 1 condition currently in effect. Okay. Then we have here the healing hymn. You and 1 other hero on your tile regains 2 hit points. That's a utility power, and you can only use these utility powers once, and then you have to flip them. There are some cards that allow you to flip the powers again, but normally you can use them only once per game. Here we have at will powers. You can use them as often as you want. And that is the Lance of Faith. Attack 1 monster within 1 tile of you. If the monster is undead, you deal +1 damage with this attack. Attack value +6, damage 1. A Sacred Flame. Attack 1 monster within 1 tile of you. If you hit, choose yourself or 1 hero on your tile. That hero regains 1 hit point. Attack +6, damage 1. Cause Fear. That's a daily power. That's basically the same as a utility power. You have to flip this thing once you've used it. Choose a tile within 1 tile of you. Each ally on that tile adjacent to a monster can make an at-will attack with a +2 bonus to the attack roll. After the attacks, place each monster remaining on a tile within 2 tiles of you. And another utility power, Healing Word. Use this power during your hero phase. 1 hero regains hit points equal to his or her healing surge value. Okay. Then we have Tarak, a half-orc rogue. And this is actually, it's this guy here with the crossbow. And as you can see, I'm also using the different cleric abilities of the different clerics in the different games. So in this case, for example, it's this dwarven cleric, but it's a cleric ability, so he's allowed to use this. And the rules also say that this is something you can do. So now it's this orc here, and he's got Brutal Recovery. When you or any hero on your tile rolls a natural 20, you may recharge Furious Assault. And that is actually a utility power we have. Use this power when you hit a monster with an attack. The monster takes +1 damage. Then we have the Acrobatic Onslaught, a daily power. Attack 1 adjacent monster, hit or miss. Place your hero on any tile within 2 tiles of where you started, and then use an at-will power immediately. Attack +7, damage 2, miss 1 damage. Then we have here Tumble. Use at the start of any phase. Move your hero to any square within 1 tile. That's another utility power. And then we have 2 at-will powers. One is Backstab. On a hit you deal +1 damage if the monster is adjacent to another hero. Attack +7, damage 1. and it says attack one adjacent monster. And then here, Lucky Strike. Attack one monster within one tile of you. If you hit and your attack roll is an even number, deal +1 damage. Attack 7, damage 1. Okay, and now we come to the third and our last hero. This is Bruno Battlehammer, a dwarf fighter. And his special ability is Headbutt. At the end of your hero phase, you can take 1 damage to deal 1 damage to an adjacent monster. And he has the notched axe. Attack 1 adjacent monster. That's an willpower, by the way. Once during each of your hero phases, if this attack misses, you can use this power against a different adjacent monster. +7, damage 1. Then we got this utility power, Clan Battlehammer Shield. Use at the start of your hero phase. Place your stance token on this card. While your stance token is on this card, your hero has a +2 bonus to armor class. Another utility power, Power Strike. This card starts with 3 Power Strike tokens on it. Okay, so these are the Power Strike tokens. Once each time your hero hits an adjacent monster, you can remove 1 Power Strike token from this card. If you do, the attack deals +1 damage to that monster. If there are no Power Strike tokens remaining, flip over this card. If an ability flips this card face up, add Power Strike tokens up to a total of 3. Legendary Knowledge. Used during your hero phase. Another utility power. Look at the top 2 tiles of the dungeon tile stack. You can put one of those tiles on the bottom of the stack and the other on the top. You cannot put an adventure specified tile on the bottom of the stack. And this is one for the team. Another utility power. Used when any player draws an encounter card. Resolve the encounter card as if you drew it. Okay. So, that's it. These are the powers of our heroes. And, of course, you can take a look at Bruno's miniature. This is him. Our fighter. So, and I decided to play Adventure 11, Rampaging Golem. And let's see, when you start this adventure, read, you have learned that Strahd has been secretly constructing a flesh golem in his workshop beneath Castle Ravenloft. The mystic Madame Eva has explained that normal items found throughout the dungeon, such as mirrors and portraits, can have a soothing effect on the flesh golem. You can calm the creature, or you can destroy it, Madame Eva explains. Be careful, however, for some items can have the opposite effect on such creatures. Now you descend into the dungeon crypts to once more disrupt Strahd's evil plans. Okay, so now the goal of the game is we have to find the workshop, and the workshop is between the 8th and the 12th tile. And if we discover the workshop, I think probably the golem will awake. And that's a pretty bad creature. So there are then 2 ways to win. One is to kill the golem, which will be hard. The other one could be to collect these different items. And this is an item track here. You can see here, mirror, portrait, so on. And each item leads to a reaction of the golem. But right now we don't know what kind of reaction that might be. It could be even either enrage or it could be calm. And there are 3 calm and 3 rage tokens in here, and we can reveal a token if we spend 5 experience points. We can also simply place an item when we are facing the golem here on the item track and hope that we're lucky and that we calm the golem. But that's a little risky. So it might be a good idea to reveal at least some of these reaction tokens before we encounter the golem. So now we can start playing. The game goes in different turns, one hero after another. We have here the sequence of play card. First we have the hero phase. And here during the hero phase it says if you have 0 hit points, use a healing surge token if one is available. So that would be one of these tokens. And they give us back life points. If we are out of these tokens, we've lost the game. But, well, the hero has its full life points. This is here, 8 hit points. So, of course, no problem here. Perform one of the following actions. Move and then make an attack. Attack and then move. Make 2 moves. So these are the options you have during your hero phase. We have here a speed value of 5. So that shows how many spaces we can move. Well, obviously until now there is nothing to attack, so I will move. And this is Quinn. So let me see, I guess I simply move 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And that's it. And now it's the exploration phase. And it says, if your hero occupies a square adjacent to an unexplored edge, and this is exactly the case, go to step 2. So that's now 2. Draw a dungeon tile and place it with its triangle adjacent to the unexplored edge. So let's see. This is this tile and we place it like that. Okay. Draw a monster card and place that monster on the new tile. Okay, let's do that. Oh, by the way, when I'm talking about cards, every one of my heroes is allowed to start the game with an item. Correction, not an item, but a treasure card. So the first one for Quinn is a blessing. Rejuvenating Onslaught. Play this blessing immediately. Until the end of your next hero phase, whenever a hero hits a monster with an attack, that hero regains 1 hit point. So that doesn't help at all. On the other hand, it says until the end of your next hero phase. Yeah, the problem is we had this item from the beginning, so the hero phase is over now. So that wasn't a good item. That wasn't a good blessing. And then we come. Tarak is the next one, and he's got a tunnel map. That sounds more interesting. This faded parchment shows a shortcut. Used during your exploration phase. Place the top tile of the dungeon tile stack next to any unexplored edge. Place a new monster on that tile. You do not draw an encounter card during your next villain phase. Okay, not too bad. And then the third treasure is a fortune. Intimidating strike. You wave your weapon menacingly at your foe. Play immediately. Move one monster one tile in any direction. Okay. That's also pretty bad. I think we can't use that too. So I think that's also a loss, because if you play this at the beginning of the game, there are no monsters. You have to play that immediately. So we were really unlucky here with these treasure cards. Okay, so anyway, let's draw the monster card now. And that is a gibbering mouther, an aberrant. Okay, this is here, the gibbering mouther. The miniatures are really great in this game, but that's a tough one right at the beginning. And if you draw monsters, you have to place them here on this skulls. So that's where the monster starts. If you didn't place a tile during your exploration phase, or if you placed a tile with a black triangle, draw an encounter card. Well, that wasn't the case. We've drawn a tile with a white triangle. If the villain is in play, activate it. That's also not the case. Activate each monster and trap you control in turn in the order you drew them. So the gibbering mouther will now attack Quinn. And here you find the tactics of the monster. And you start at the top and go down until something applies to the situation. If the gibbering mouther is within one tile of a hero, it attacks the closest hero within one tile. Well, this is exactly the point here. It is within one tile of the hero, so then it attacks. And well, actually it doesn't say it moves to the closest hero, but it simply attacks the closest hero. So I think it stays there and then it attacks. It has an attack value +8. So I now roll this 20-sided die and add 8 to the roll. And I have an armor class of 16. And if the result of the attack roll is equal or higher than the armor class, then I take the damage of the attack. And this would be in this case 1 and dazed. So let's see, well, it would be good to roll a 7 or lower. And that's a 3. So very good, we were lucky here. That's a miss. Okay, and now it's Tarak, the half-orc, and he's got a speed of 6. So I think he will move here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he will use the lucky strike. They fall for it if you're lucky, and then they fall. Okay. Attack one monster within one tile of you. If you hit and your attack roll is an even number, deal +1 damage. So we have a +7, and the gibbering mouther has an armor class of 14. And it has 2 hit points. So let's see now. We need a 7 to hit him. Oh man, another 3. So that was a miss. Okay. And now, in addition, we have the exploration phase, and we draw a map tile here, and luckily this is another map tile with a white arrow, so we don't have to draw an encounter card. Mostly these encounter cards are bad. And then we draw a monster card, and that is a Drow Duelist. And this is actually this guy here. That's the Drow Duelist. So we place him here. And wow. Let's see now. We don't have to draw an encounter card, so we have to activate the monster now. And it says, if the Drow Duelist is within 1 tile of a hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks twice with a pair of slashing blades. Each attack can be against any hero adjacent to the duelist. Oh man. This is bad. Okay, so I think I'll move this guy here. And then he can either attack Tarak, but Tarak has only an armor class of 14, or he can attack Quinn. And he actually has an armor class of 16, so I think he better attacks Quinn. So he's got a +9, that's pretty bad. It does 1 damage. So let's see. That's a 7, so that is just a 16. That was bad luck. So we take 1 hit point here. And that's another attack. Again on Quinn, I think. That's an 8. Okay. So we took 2 damage here. And now it's Bruno. And at the beginning, you can use this utility power here. Use at the start of your hero phase. Place your stance token on this card. So that's what he does. While your stance token is on this card, your hero has a +2 bonus to armor class. So basically, because there is only 1 card which uses stance token, I don't have to place it on another card, so it will stay here probably during the whole game, and yeah, I'll probably have for the whole game then an armor class of 18, which is really a lot. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna move with this guy, and I'm gonna move here 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm gonna attack the Drow Duelist. I'm gonna use my at will power, and yeah. Okay, so I need a, let me see, what do I need? I need a 9 to be successful here. Oh man, what a bad start. What I can do, and I will do this, I will use this headbutt. At the end of your hero phase, you can take 1 damage to deal 1 damage to an adjacent monster. So I take that damage, and I kill the Drow Duelist. Okay, so this guy now gives me 2 experience. It's not too bad. And that was the hero phase. Now there would be the exploration phase, but because he is not on an unexplored edge, he can't explore. And that means that we have now to draw an encounter card. And that is a Dirgar outpost. The Dirgar maintain a small outpost in the mountain. Draw 5 monster cards. Discard any monster that is not a devil. Shuffle the remaining cards and put them on top of the monster deck. So I think that's not too bad. Let's see. That's another aberrant, another one of these gibbering mouthers. So I think that helps. An Orc Archer. That's number 3. That's a Goblin Champion. Ooh, that would be nasty too. Water Elemental. And a Cave Bear. So no devils here. But most of the monsters were not too bad. So I think this could actually be an helpful encounter here. Okay, that's it. We haven't drawn a new monster, so there is no monster we have to activate. And we're done. Oh, by the way, because I've killed a monster, I'm also allowed to draw a treasure now. And that's of course what I'm going to do. And that is a Ring of Regeneration. Use this item when you would draw a treasure card. You can regain 1 hit point instead of drawing the treasure card. What? I don't know. Okay, well, in the end this hit point costs me 2 treasure cards. But that's a start. So we go back to Quinn now. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move with him here. Because then I can reveal a new tile. I have to draw a monster there. And that monster will attack me then. But then I also have to activate the Gibbering Mouther. And that guy would attack me too. So this could be a really hard turn for me. So I think it's better if I stay a little away from him. So he'll attack the closest hero. And I will use my Sacred Flame then. So that's a +6, damage 1. And if I hit, I can choose myself or another hero to regain 1 hit point. So that would be really great. Okay, so this thing has a 14, so I need an 8. Okay, let's see. Oh man. Is it impossible for me to kill anyone? I mean, until now I didn't have 1 hit. Okay, so again a miss. Great start. Yeah, well, okay. And then we have to draw a tile. But we were lucky here again. This is another tile with a white arrow. So no encounter here. But we have to draw a monster. And that's a skeleton. Let's see. So here we go, our skeleton. And it starts here. And then we have to activate the monsters. And we start in the order we've drawn them. So we start with the Gibbering Mouther. And the Gibbering Mouther is within 1 tile of a hero. It attacks... Oh man, now I see that. It attacks all heroes within 1 tile. Oh man, I didn't see that. Ooh, that's painful. I thought he only attacks the closest hero. Well, that is bad. Okay, we have to live with this. Man, if I had known that. This is really a problem now. So first he attacks Quinn. Okay. He's got a +8. Man. And that's a 16. And that is again just enough. I'm really not lucky here. And then it's Tarak. And that's also a hit. And at least it's Bruno Battlehammer. Oh man. Do you see that? This is really a bad start. But okay, I admit it was my own fault. I had to do this. I had to find another solution here, but that's it then. And now it's the skeleton. If the skeleton is adjacent to a hero, that's not the case. If the skeleton is within 1 tile of a hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks that hero with a charging slice. Okay, so let's do this. Let's say this guy moves here. And I think... yeah, that's the closest hero, and that's a +9 and a damage of 2. Oh my god. This is really bad. And this time we're lucky. That's a 6, that's only a 15, so no damage here. Man, that was... Oh man. That would have been bad. Okay, so now we have to do some kills, otherwise we're in real trouble. It's now Tarak, and let me see. Okay. Yeah. He simply attacks the Gibbering Mouther from where he is. Attack 1 monster within 1 tile of you. And if it's an even number, it's +1 damage. So we can attack a +7. So we need a 7. And this time we made it, but of course it's not an even number. But I think this time I will use the Furious Assault. We have to do something now. So I flip this card. Your wrath burns inside you, giving strength to your attack. You bet. So the monster takes 1 additional damage. So the monster took now 2 damage and it's killed. That's good because it gives me 3 experience points. And now I have 5 experience points. And if you have 5 experience points, you can cancel an event. That can be very useful. If you roll a natural 20 while attacking or while disarming a trap, you can pay 5 experience points to level up, which is also very good. I could also roll 5 experience points to reveal one of these reaction tokens. But I can decide later what I'll do there. So now the gibbering mouther goes back into the box. And I'm allowed to draw a treasure card. And that's a brief rest. You take a moment to catch your breath. Play immediately. Your hero regains 1 hit point. Flip up one of your used powers or items. Well, that's pretty cool. So he regains 1 hit point. And he's allowed to flip this card again. Awesome. And then it's discarded. So I think that was okay. But because we haven't explored another tile, we have to draw a encounter card. And that says Warp in Time. Your thoughts are clouded as a pocket of corrupted time washes through the dungeon. Each player passes 1 monster card to the player on the right. Draw an encounter card. Draw another encounter card. Okay, so that means now this guy has to give him this card, so the skeleton would immediately attack again. And then we have to draw another card. And that is an illusionary trick. Even allies aren't always what they appear to be. The active hero swaps positions with the monster that is farthest from him or her. Well, okay, that isn't too bad. So, Tarak has to swap with the skeleton. So just like this. No, wait a minute, this is not Tarak. You have to do it like that. Okay. Okay, well, that's not too bad. And then we have to activate the monster, and this is again the skeleton. If the skeleton is adjacent to your hero, it attacks that hero with a scimitar. So that is a +7 damage 1. And this guy, now the skeleton is actually adjacent to Bruno, and he has an armor class of 18. So if he's lucky, he can do that. The monster needs an 11. And no success here. Very good. Okay, and then it's again Bruno, and he will attack the skeleton with his notched axe. So that's a +7. So he needs a 9 to be successful here. Okay, it says one downed foe is as good as another. Okay, let's hope for the best here. We need a 9. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's really bad. Okay, then Quinn has to do that. So, okay. Yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move here to 3. And I'm going to explore a new tile. And that is now a tile with a black triangle. So that's not so good. Oops. And it's also some kind of a dead end. But first we have to draw a monster card. And that's a spider. Okay, this is our spider. And it's placed here. Okay, and then, because we have now a black triangle, at the start of the villain phase, we have to draw an encounter card. Howl of the Wolf. The distant baying of a wolf echoes through the dungeon, causing the monsters around you to shriek in response. Choose one monster on any hero's tile. That monster immediately activates. Okay, great. So, oh man, this is really nasty. Okay, we don't have to activate this monster because it is not... Well, just... This is not on a tile with us, but we have to activate the skeleton now. And the problem is, it will attack again with a slice. Yeah, and that gives him +9 and 2 damage. And he attacks Tarak, the half-orc. Oh man, that's bad. This only has an armor class of 14. So a 5 is enough. Oh man. Ah, that's an 8. Okay, so he takes 2 damage. So that was the Howl of the Wolf. And then we have to activate the spider. And it says if the spider is within 1 tile of a hero, it attacks the closest hero with an acidic web. And the web is +11 attack, and then a 1 and slowed. Great. So let's see. Yeah. So +11. We have 18. So a 7 is enough for the spider. Oh man, that's a 20. Okay. So gives us 1 damage. In addition, I'm slowed. So we take now this condition marker. Your speed is 2. Discard this condition at the end of your hero phase. Okay. And place the spider adjacent to the hero. The next attack would then be a bite. That would do 2 damage. So, okay, let's see. I think I'll place it. I'm not sure. Actually, I think I'll place it here. This is also adjacent. Okay. So I think it's now time to load this up, and I think we had a really bad start actually. I was rolling terrible. I think until now, actually, I didn't kill... I think I killed 1 monster or something like that, and the other was just dead because I simply sacrificed 1 wound. So I was really rolling bad. But the game isn't over yet. I also draw bad cards at the beginning, no good items. Well, let's hope we have a better adventure in our next videos. Until then, bye.